Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2,000 point battle. Tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Ogre Cons, versus the Beardless Beardling. I guess that kind of makes sense in an ironic sort of way. Of the Dwarven Holds. This is another great game, John. I can't wait to show you what happened. It's a lot of just stubborn-ass dwarves. But I think you're going to enjoy it, so let's get to it. Here's my list, and it's exactly the same from the last game. I have my Lord, the Great Khan, Lord Tremendous. He's got the Mark of Change, the Bluffer's Helm, Talisman of Greater Shielding, Charm of the Curse Iron, and Hellfist. Like I said, exactly the same from the last game. Right after my last game finished, I went right into this one. I've got my Great Shaman, Kaka Shabadoo. He's a level 4 wizard with the Mark of True Chaos, Iron Fist, Demonic Heart, Talisman of Lesser Shielding, and Path of Alchemy. And I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the alchemy thing. I thought it was cool, and don't get me wrong, transmutation to gold is awesome. But the rest of the spells for my particular army and my particular needs, I'm starting to realize, while it looked good on paper, it's just not working out for me in the game. But, you know, I'm giving another shot, trying. For my hero choices, I have a Count He's my BSB with the Mark of Change, Axebreaker Gauntlet, Dragon Mental, and the Gem of Dragonfire. And I'm not 100% on the axe of the Axebreaker, or the Axebreaker Gauntlets, because I keep running into people that don't have any magic weapons. You know? Mundane items are good now, so you don't necessarily need a magic weapon, but we'll see. In my core, I've got my 5 tribesmen with the Mark of Change, Banner Musician, Iron Fist, and Heavy Armor. And I've also got a unit of 3 bruisers with Mark of Change and a Musician. And then right here, I've got my unit of 5 bruisers with the Mark of Change, Banner, and Musician. Right here, I've got my special choices, 3 Bombardiers, Mark of Change, and a Musician. And I really wasn't impressed by these guys last game. I probably need to take more than 3 in order for them to be useful. But, I mean, they just didn't do anything. And I know it had a lot to do with the fact that I forgot to put flaming attacks on them and stuff. I'm an idiot. It's just, I don't know. For the points that they're worth, I was kind of hoping they would do more against the Chimera than just give them indigestion. But we'll see. I'm trying them again, as you can see. I'm not giving up on them yet, but it's not looking good for them. Then right here is my bread and butter, my 5 mercenary veterans with the Mark of Change, Banner Musician, Iron Fist, Lethal Strike, Bodyguard, and the Banner of Speed. Because if these guys aren't in combat, they're not making me any money, and I like money. No, that unit is just, I can throw them into anything but Chosen, and they're going to walk out the other side, glistening in their enemy's blood. And then right here I have my Kin Eater, who did amazing last game, and I'm very curious to see how he's going to do against my Dwarven opponent. Next up is my opponent's list, so enjoy the music, and if you want to see what he actually had, feel free to pause the video at any time you choose. Here are my spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. Here's deployment. Alright, as you can see on the left side there, I have my little unit of bruisers. I'm going to throw them into the forest and try to pull as much shooting into them as possible. It's my sacrificial lamb unit this game, because I really don't have any other use for them. I've got my main forces, my tribesmen, my bruisers, and my mercenary vets right there in the middle. I'm going to use the forest and the impassable terrain in the middle as a bottleneck, because he's got a lot of horde formations. So if anything wants to get in there, my flanks are kind of protected, you know, because it's hard for him to get around, hopefully. And so just let him come forward for a little bit, hopefully get the charge off on him, and then mash dwarves into the ground. And then I've got my bombardiers over there on the right side. They're going to go up that little bottleneck in between the two impassable terrains, try to deal with that attack copter, and then come around our right flank there and try to just do as much damage as he can. I do have my Kin Eater. He has a little organ gun on the hill on the left side there. I'm going to send the Kin Eater after that as soon as he comes in on the table. I'm hoping at this point that he doesn't have flaming attacks. I should have asked. I didn't. Yeah, you'll see what happens. Here's my opponent's right flank, and he's got like guild gunners or something like that, forge wardens, the organ gun with flaming attacks. Damn it. Here's my opponent's center. On the left side there, I believe, is Longbeards, and the other one is Deep Watch guys. His general, I believe, is on the painted unit. His BSB is inside the unit of Great Weapon Totem guys. Not 100% in there, but yeah, I mean, that's just a wall of dwarves I'm going to have to get through. And don't get me wrong, I love me some close combat, but man, starting to realize I need some sort of support fire for big blocks like that. And on our left flank here, well, his left flank anyway, is his attack copter. Here's my right flank, which consists of my 3 bombardiers, and my center. On the right side there are my mercenary veterans with my Great Khan, and on the left there are my bruisers with my BSB. And here's my left flank with my big unit, my unit of tribesmen with my Great Shaman, and my little unit of sacrificial bruisers. Sorry, guys. Go, here's top of 1 after movement, and I didn't get to go first, which is sad. He moves up both of his wall. Everything moves up a little bit. His shooting guys, they only move up their regular movement, which is like 3, but the rest of the guys move up, I think 6 to 9. I'm not 100% on that, but he moves them up kind of aggressive, and completely forgets about his attack copter. Yeah, didn't even realize it until the shooting phase. But yeah, that's really it for movement. During his shooting phase, his organ gun takes careful aim at my tribesmen, and he rolls boxcars for the amount of hits, which means he misfired. Couldn't believe it. So he rolls on the misfire chart and ends up rolling a 4, which means it can't shoot this turn or next. Man, did I catch a break with that. So next up, we go over here to bottom 1 after movement, and I'm a little nervous. I know they only add 3 to their charge, so I do move up, but I move up cautiously. I think I go up about 8 inches, maybe 10. So not like stupid cautious, but definitely not trying to give him an easy shot at me. I'm hoping he comes forward. He needs to get his big combat bricks into combat in order to be useful at all. I've got magic, but he's got shooting, so who knows? Who knows what he's going to do? Well, I do, because I know how this game ends, but you don't, and at the time, neither did I. My guys, my bombardiers on the right side, I realize he's forgotten about his attack copter, and so I'm going to move my bombardiers over to the left in the hopes that as long as there's nothing threatening his left flank, he's going to forget about the attack copter again, and you'll see how that goes. But yeah, they do a swift reform and move about 6 inches forward, just trying to get anything in range, because I don't really know what to do with these guys. They're not the way I'm using them. They're not very good. The bruisers on the left field or on the left flank there, they start moving up towards the forest. I can't march into the forest, I don't believe. I think that you're not allowed to do that unless you have like Strider, which they don't. So they move up, and like I said, the other 2 units just kind of move up as far as I feel comfortable moving them. Magic phase, I get Transmutation of Gold off on the Deep Wardens, whatever the hell these guys are, the Great Weapon guys that I'm the most afraid of, and I end up killing 10 of them. I don't get the character, obviously, because my opponent's not an idiot, and I don't get the unit champion, but I get like 10 rank and file guys, which is huge. They don't have to worry about, panic or anything, because currently they're stupid, but, they're dwarves with a BSB. They're not going anywhere anyway, but that spell is amazing. Then right here, the bombardiers, they shoot at these guys. I think I needed 5s to hit them because they were long range, and I'm able to kill 1. And I used the Hellfire shot, and I didn't kill any of them with the Hellfire shot because, bombardiers. So with that disappointing shooting phase, we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and even my opponent's like, I don't want to get too much closer. All of his guys passed their stupidity check that had to take one because, dwarves. His shooty guys, they move up a little bit. They don't march, obviously, but they do move up their 3 inches or so in order to get into better range for shooting. And his other 2 bricks, I think they kind of fall back an inch or 2. I don't remember exactly, but Nothing really, aggressive or anything. He's just going to try to shoot me off the table. So the one cool thing that happened here, I guess cool, it depends on how you want to see it. He forgot to move his attack copter again if you look over on our right flank. He figures it out in combat. Well, we get to the combat phase, and he's like, oh, golly, I forgot to move him again. During a shooting phase, largely thanks to the long range and the soft cover, I take 1 wound onto my bruisers, but they absorb all the pew-pew, which is huge. Go over here to bottom of 2 after movement. I charge. I'm tired of waiting. Both my bruisers with my BSB and my general with the Merc Vets charge and fail. My bruisers charge into one of the units of, I think it was the Fire Wardens. I'm not 100%. The guy, Forge Wardens, I think. Anyway, the unit that's on the inside there, they charge them and fail, and they take 2 wounds from his stand and shoot, which kills a guy. And my Kin Eater shows up on that hill to try to get a hold of that organ gun. Here's where I was really hoping that organ gun didn't have flaming attacks, but it does. So what can you do? Here's a better picture of both my units failing their charge. Couldn't believe it. But, when you're rolling 1s and 2s, what can you do? And there's a better picture of my bruisers failing their charge, but one of them dies, so all is forgiven. During the magic phase, I want to mention real quick, when I got Transmutation of Gold off, my opponent let it go, and he used his Rune of Devouring, so I don't have that spell anymore. I'm sorry, that's actually very important for this game. So right here, knowing that I failed my charge and I'm out of position now, I didn't want him to have his great weapons in full effect. So I was able to get Bane of Forged Steel, which means they don't get any bonuses from mundane weapons, which is huge. So that spells off on that unit now, and that's the one that I'm nervous about because I think they're strength 5 or 6 or whatever with great weapons, which is scary. And then I put the Commandment of Iron attribute from the Alchemy path on my bruisers because they're the ones that need a boost to their armor save. In the shooting phase, my Bombardiers shoot at the dwarves in the center there and kill 1. Yeah, those guys aren't worth the points. I'm sorry. It's probably because they're too small of a unit, or maybe it's just a unit that doesn't work with my playstyle, or the dice gods hate that I'm using them. I don't know, but yeah, that happened. Here we go to top of 3 after movement, and the dwarves get aggressive, because why not? That unit in the middle, the Greybeards, I believe, they charge my bruisers, and he needed an 8. I'm pretty sure I'd be willing to bet money on it. I think he needed an 8, and I just wasn't having that, so I decided to flee. I'm not sticking around to take a charge from a horrid break of Greybeards. I'm just not stupid. I'm sorry. So I fled. He, in turn, tried to redirect into my mercenary vets and failed, as you can see. I don't think the Great Weapon guys charged because of the Bane of Forged Steel spell that was currently on the Hex. That deterred him from charging me, which I personally thought was awesome because I only need like an 8 to hit him. I need like a 6 to him. So I'm pretty sure I got it, maybe in a 5. I can't remember exactly, but I know it's a real easy charge for me to make, so I'm excited. I believe, in my opinion, my opponent made a mistake. Then, of course, on our left flank there, both the units, a little shooty pew-pew guys, they move up 3 inches or so to shoot at my bruisers. His organ gun turns around to take aim at my Kin Eater, that poor bastard. And for the first time in the game, my opponent remembers his attack copter, which is hilarious. That's it for movement. There's a better picture of my bruisers and BSB running away from the dwarves because I just wasn't going to do well if he made it in that combat. And believe it or not, I think he did roll what he needed and would have ran into me had I not fled. During his shooting phase, the closest unit of dwarves with guns shoot into my bruisers and do 2 wounds, which hurts. And then the other unit uses their guild-forged handguns or whatever to shoot and kill off the guy that took a couple of wounds. So they do 1 wound, but that's not good. I do pass my panic check, which I was a little nervous about. But yeah, that unit it's doing its job. I just hate to see him die. And then here, yeah, the organ gun turns, fires, and obliterates my Kin Eater. I think he did like 5 wounds to him. It was devastating. I guess he soaked up a shot from the volley gun. I really wish that he didn't have flaming attack. We go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and I charge. My general and the mercenary veterans make it into, I think they're Grey Wardens. I'm not 100% on that. I don't remember what they're called, and sorry. I'm working on the nomenclature, damn it. My tribesman with my caster and my bruiser charge. My bruiser charges first, and I'm thinking he's going to stand and shoot, and then my tribesman will get in, no problem. But everybody's smarter than me now. and he saw it coming, and he goes, okay, yeah, I'll stand. I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, I charge with the tribesman. He goes, yeah, I'll stand and shoot. You bastard. And even with me charging him, he does 6 wounds to that unit and kills 2 guys. I passed my panic check, but holy crap! Dwarven shooting is vicious. Meanwhile, my bruisers rally, which is outstanding, and my bombardiers are in range, so they just stand there like the useless idiots that they are. There's a better picture of my 1 remaining bruiser and my what's left of my tribesmen making it into combat with these Forge Wardens or something like that. Forge guys. Damn it, I'm going to figure out what their name is and I'm going to remember it. Here's a better picture of the Fallen. Those that did not make it in there because the dwarves are, man, they got like miniguns on those guys. And they are Forge Wardens. I actually looked it up. So, ha! And these guys are the Greybeards. They're the ones with the great weapons. The other guys are Deep Watch, the hand weapon shield unit. So there's a better picture of my general and the mercenary veterans slamming into the Greybeards with great weapons. So I'm really hoping that goes my way. There's only 20 of them. During the magic phase, I throw 4 dice at Bane of Forged Steel and get it off on these guys again, so they're only hitting me at strength, I think, 4. And I throw the lore attribute on the tribesmen just so that they have as good of a save as I can possibly give them. Then the bombardiers shoot at the Deep Watch and try to do some damage. I'm killed 2 this time, which is double what they were doing before. I'm just not impressed with this unit at all. They're nickel and dime and stuff when I need them to take chunks, you know? I mean, we're ogres, damn it! Throw your cannons at them, you do more damage. And right here, glorious combat. My general and the mercenary veterans slaughter every single Greybeard that was left in the unit. The only reason the BSB is untouched is because I wasn't in base-to-base contact with him and he wasn't stupid enough to bring him over. So he's all by himself. I take 1 wound. 1 wound is all I took. And I don't even remember how, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, well... No, I don't have a clue how I took a wound, but I did. And yeah, the only guy that's left is the little BSB, and he breaks, and he gets away, but I tried, and you know what? The Greybeards are dead. I feel good about that. Then over here, this doesn't go as well for me. I whiffed pretty bad. I only kill like 4 of these guys. 4 or 5, I can't remember. Maybe 6. No, 4. I kill 4 of these guys, and he does 3 wounds back to me, but because I charge and have a banner, he loses by, I don't know, a handful, and he ends up rolling like Snake Eyes to stay, which is too bad because that was my 1 chance to break him. Really disappointed with my rolls on this one. Not upset with the units or anything, but that was definitely my rolls, but wow! That unit is holding me up, and I don't approve. Here we go over here to the top of 4 after movement, and the dwarves make some moves. The BSB is able to rally, and you can't really see him because he's behind my mercenary veterans up in the top middle there. His big unit of dwarves, they don't charge. No, they do try to charge my bruisers and fail, which is fine because now I've got a decent charge at him, I think. The other unit of dwarves, they just kind of realign themselves. I think they reform to... I don't even know what they're going to do, but he reforms on the left flank there, and everything. And then his attack copter comes up behind my bombardiers, which doesn't bother me too much because now that his unit of Deep Watch have screwed up their charge, I plan on charging the bombardiers in there as well to just put as much meat into that unit as possible. There's a better picture of his Deep Watch dwarves failing a charge into my bruisers, which is huge. There's a better picture of his BSB rallying, or what was his BSB. Now I guess it's just a Thane. During the shooting phase, that flippin' organ gun shoots at my merc vets and kills a guy. Does 3 wounds all by itself. And I have the 5-up... I have the 5-up ward save against artillery shots, too. Still was able to kill a merc. Not happy. And then here, his attack helicopter shoots everything it's got. It's got like grenades and stuff now. It's only able to do a wound, so at least it's just as effective as my bombardiers. So we go into combat over here, and I mega flub, like 1s and 2s religiously. I kill, I think, 1 or 2 of these guys. He kills off my bruiser, destroying that unit, and he takes out a tribesman. He only does a couple of wounds back. I think I win by 1 or 2, or because I think I win by 1 because I have a banner. He does a couple of wounds to me. No, I win by 1 because of my musician. He does 3 wounds to me. I do 2 to him, but I have a banner. He doesn't have a musician. I do, and he stays, which is really, really frustrating. This is a shooting unit, damn it. I have a combat unit into him, mostly, and they're kicking my ass. Here's a better picture of it after it's all cleaned up. Look at them, smug bastards, just standing there holding me up. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and I charge. I charge with the bombardiers, who failed their charge. I charge with the bruisers and the BSB, who make their charge. My general charges out of the unit of Merc Vets to go after the BSB and makes it, because he's like 3 inches away from me. And then my Merc Vets turn around to try to get into these Deep Warden guys before my bruisers get annihilated by them, because this isn't the combat that I wanted, but it's the only combat that I currently can get into. I was really hoping that the bombardiers would get in there to add their impact hits. I know it only would have been 2 at strength 4, but anything would have helped at this point. But yeah, I really didn't want that combat the way it was. I figured my tribesmen and my character would be done mopping up the damn shooting by now, but clearly that didn't happen. And yeah, so I'm getting desperate, so I'm doing some desperate stuff, and you'll see how that pans out in a minute. There's a better picture of my general slamming into his Thane, and I'm looking forward to killing him. There's a better picture of my bruisers and BSBs slamming into the Deep Watch guys and wondering where the hell their backup is. Here's a better picture of this useless, stupid unit that can't do anything for me. It can't shoot, it can't combat, it can't make charges. I'm done with the bombardiers. You know what? I know a lot of people swear by them. I know a lot of people like them, and more power to you. I don't friggin' like them. They're on my shit list. I'm so flippin' tired of those damn bombardiers. It's 2 games in a row that they've done nothing. Nothing. I could have literally not fielded them, and it would have had the same exact outcome. They are useless beyond measure, and I hate them. So during the magic phase, I get the forge thing off on these guys. I know they're not getting any bonuses from mundane weapons, but just in case the character in here has a mundane weapon he's using to get strength bonuses or whatever bonuses, I figured I'd give it a shot. I don't know what I'm doing. I also wanted to give my bruisers +1 armor save just in case. Turns out this unit has the rending banner or armor piercing, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't help at all. Well, I mean, it helps a little bit. It gives them a 6-up, I think, but or something. I can't remember, but it's not great. The only reason I got the spell off is because my opponent really didn't care anything about it, and because I used overwhelming power in order to cast it, which immediately makes me roll at a miscast chart after dealing out all the stuff that the spell does, and I end up rolling a miscast 5. Oh, dice gods, why have you forsaken me? It does a little bit of damage. My character takes a point, the unit takes a point, and 1 dwarf dies because I can't roll. I can't make him hurt himself, and yeah, just reasons. It also kills my magic phase, which is kind of nice. We go into combat, and as you can see, it goes a little bit better. I end up taking 2 wounds. He takes 3, so he loses by a couple, but currently he's steadfast, and he makes his break check no problem. Go over here, and it actually goes pretty well. I kill a handful of the dwarves. I even put a wound on his character because his character issues a challenge. My BSB doesn't have a choice. So he does, but I'm not going to throw him to the back. So we go into the combat, and we do really well, but he puts that friggin' O-stone down or whatever, and I can't, and I win by a decent amount, but he's stubborn or whatever it is, and he makes his check, but this combat actually went a lot better than I expected it to. Then right here, my general starts beating on the Thane. And he must have done something. The Thane must have said something or looked like someone, because my general's taking his sweet time ripping this guy apart. He does 1 wound, charge and a wound to nothing. He loses by 2, but he makes his break check. Not because he wants to, but because my general won't let go of his friggin' throat. He's just pounding his head on the friggin' ground. So he's going to be there for a minute enjoying his dinner. Here we are. We go over here to top of 5 after movement, and you get to see a little bit of the universe righting itself here. In the bottom right corner there, you see the attack copter hitting those useless pieces of garbage bombardiers in the rear, and I'm rooting for the dwarves on that one, because that unit has been nothing but pain and disappointment this entire game. The rest of the movement phase really just consists of the organ gun and his little unit of shooty guys with, I think, like, guild-crafted handgunners or whatever they are. They're going to shoot the merc vets because that's really the only target they have, and that hurts. It really does. Here's a better picture of Justice, of the dwarf copter hitting the rear of that stupid-ass unit of bombardiers. I hope the frickin' copter eats them alive. I hope he kills every last one of them in front of their mothers because they're garbage. They are straight hot garbage. I hope they all die. Go dwarves. In a shooting phase, the organ gun is able to do enough wounds. I think with combined shooting with the little unit guys there to kill one of my merc vets. Honestly, I mean, they absorbed a lot of damage and only one guy died, but I passed my panic check, but it still hurts when those guys fall. That's like my favorite unit. Stop shooting at them. We go into combat, and those pieces of shit bombardiers, the attack copter doesn't do anything to them. In return, those limp-wristed, slack-jawed, inbred pieces of garbage bombardiers aren't able to do anything back to him. I know he's in my rear, but anything would have been better than nothing. So they do this weird butterfly kiss fight, and they end up losing by 3 because they're useless. So because he's got rear and charge to their nothing, because that's what they are, nothing. They're less than nothing. They're zeros, and I hate them. They lose by 3, and even with the reroll, they break. They get away because they can't even die right, those useless bastards. And they go through the combat. 3 of them fail their dangerous terrain checks because I think it's like on a 3 or less you fail. So they all take a wound. 1 guy dies. Good. I hope it hurt. And now they're blocking any countercharge that my tribesmen could make if they get out of combat over here. They're getting in the way of the damn mercenary veterans. Everything that unit does is for my opponent. I cannot wait to shelve them. If it was I'm borrowing that unit, and if that was my unit, I'd run it over with my truck because they deserve to never see the table again. Over here, things go pretty good. I think I kill another couple of guys. He does nothing back to me, and in the end, he's steadfast because he's just got a rank and I don't, and he stays. But this has been a really, really good combat. And over here, it still goes all right. I flub a little bit. Nothing happens in the challenge. We both just can't hurt each other. I only kill 3 of his guys, though. He kills 2 of mine, which is not good. To be honest with you, I don't even think I flubbed. I think he just made some saves, those ward saves or whatever, 6 up, shield wall or whatever. It's really bad. I lose by a lot. Then I break, and I get run down. It's not even difficult. I think I rolled like a 10 to get away, and he rolled boxcars. I was like, oh, cool, a 10, I got away! He rolls boxcars.
Nobody likes you.
Oh my God! This is still? I'm having a good time. This is still a fun game, but man, we're hitting every single what the F moment that we could possibly run into. And then right here, my general continues just tearing this Thane to pieces. He's got some rune that gives him an extra wound, so he's actually got 3 wounds, so he's not dead yet. But you know what? That's fine, because Lord Tremendous is just enjoying tearing apart his little Scooby snack over there. And I'm going to let him, because have you ever gotten in the way of a great Khan's meal? I haven't, and that's why I'm here doing battle reports and not in the bottom of somebody's colon. And yeah, just words to live by. We go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and my mercenary vets do the only thing they can do. They charge. I don't want them getting shot up anymore. I know it's bad going into these deep watch guys. I know they have an oath stone, but I'm out of options. I don't know what else to do. Unfortunately, with the O-Stone, the rear, I'm still going to get the combat res and everything like that, but he's going to get a shield wall and all that good stuff, but I have to go in there. The Bombardiers rally because why not, right? They're not going to be able to do anything this turn but soak up a bunch of shooting, and I hope they die. But that's really it. Everything else is dead or in combat. There's a better picture of my Merc Vets making it into the Deep Watch guys, and this is a desperation thing. And there's a better picture of Dumb and Dumber rallying. Yay! Nothing happens in Magic, so we go into combat, and yes, my general finally tires of the game and kills the Thane. He puts the final wound on him, he falls over, and then he just turns to face the organ gun because I know it's going to shoot at him. He's got to get over there and try to kill it before it kills him. Over here, things are finally starting to go the way they should. He does nothing to me. I killed 3 or 4 of his guys. They lose by 4, maybe something like that, around that much. They take their break check and break. And we run them down like the chettle they are. And to add insult to injury on my opponent's team, the other unit of the little shooty guys, I don't remember what they're called, they break. They fail their panic check. He rolls an 11, and then he rolls like a 9. So they're moving. They're gone, which is outstanding. Then over here in combat, the mercenary veterans do well. I kill 4 of these guys, but with their shield wall, he was making his 5s. What can I tell you? He drops the O-Stone, so he treats his flanks and his rear like it's front, so he gets all of the bonuses and everything like that. Then they turn around and proceed to do 4 wounds to my Merc Vets. It was actually very impressive. He loses this combat, but they're steadfast. They turn. They make their check no problem. They make their leadership check to turn to face. They reform to have a couple of ranks, and then yeah, it's woo. I've got to hope that I roll out of the box next turn, or I am SOL. So here we are at top of 6 after movement, and the attack copter charges my bombardiers, who they can't stand and shoot because it's within 8 inches of them, I think, or it does shoot and doesn't do anything. Either way, the unit is useless. No, they do. They stand and shoot, and they don't do anything because they're raw garbage. Raw, hot garbage. I hate that unit. The little unit of shooty dwarves that fled after their buddies got killed, they rallied, and that's really it. There's a better picture of his attack copter taking another shot at my idiot bombardiers. And there's a better picture of his unit of whatever they're called, rallying. In shooting phase, his organ gun opens up into my unit. Does not hurt my character at all. He makes all his saves, but unfortunately, my tribesman does not have a ward save and dies. My character does make his rally check, which is huge, but you know, he got the points for the unit now, and now I've got to try to figure out how I'm going to... I know what my character's going to do. He's going to charge an organ gun and try to kill it, but, well, we'll see. We go into combat, and yeah, I'm able to kill like 3 of his guys or something like that. He's able to do enough damage that he wins combat. I break, and he runs me down. Oh, it's just not my day. It's not my day. So we go over here to combat with the attack helicopter. He's able to do 2 wounds to my unit. My unit's not able to do anything. And then the Rosie O'Donnell twins over here just decide, well, we've been useless this whole game. Why stop now? They break. They get away, but who cares? I mean, who really cares at this point? If they weren't such epic garbage, I might give a damn. But yeah, they don't do anything again. Useless unit. Useless piece of garbage. The last turn, bottom of 6, here it is after movement, and the Bombardier fails to rally because whatever, and they panic through the combat because my shaman charges the organ gun and makes it. So, but he flees through an enemy unit. They both immediately fail their dangerous terrain checks. Another useless idiot dies, and they end up right where they're at. I wish they had all died, but I didn't get anything that I really wanted this game. I'm messing. This actually was a really fun game. We were laughing a lot. But my general charged his attack copter. He stayed, but I failed. And that was a long charge. I think I needed a 10 in order to hit him because I don't have the banner of speed on him, so he's only movement 6. Only movement 6. But he just didn't make it, so what can you do? And honestly, it wasn't going to swing the game anyway. It was more of a spite thing than anything else. But that's it. That's all I have on the table. Guy who has pissed himself halfway across the table, Bombardier, because he's useless. My shaman who's just got into the organ gun because he's all sorts of piss and vinegar. And my general who's still breaking dwarven thane bones because he likes the way it sounds. Kind of like it's an ogre bubble wrap thing. Think of it like that. There's a better picture of my general failing a charge, and that's just unfortunate. And there's a better picture of my shaman slamming into the organ gun. He's not up against it because physics won't allow it to happen. And a better picture of that useless bombardier still fleeing off the table. May he rot in hell. We go straight into combat because there's no point in cast or anything like that. And I'm only able to do 1 wound to the organ gun. I just flub. Impact hits, I'm pretty sure, go against the toughness of the War Machine. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, please. That's the way we did it. I only got a couple of impact hits on it, which I'm fine with. That was awesome. But they didn't wound, and then in combat, I flubbed my attacks. He didn't do anything back to me. Charge and a wound to nothing. He needed like an 8, and he needed a 10 because they're stubborn, or a 9, or whatever. War Machine crews under dwarves are stubborn, and they stayed, so it didn't go the way I wanted, but at least I got a parting shot, right? So there it is, guys. There's the end of the game, and needless to say, it does not look good for the home team. I've got the useless sissy pants on the hill fleeing and trying to still piss himself. I got my shaman beating up a War Machine crew, and I got my general giggling as he snaps a dwarf's femur because it's just hilarious. My opponent, while he doesn't have a ton, as you can see in the picture, there's a pile of dead on his side of the table. He did definitely have more than me at the end, and we'll get to that in a minute. But honestly, one hell of a game. Dwarves really can hold their own. Lots of craziness, and we will get to the recap in a minute because, wow, do I need a break. No. Actually, I do have a quick, commercial. So here, let's get to that. There's this website out there. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it. I'm sure some of you aren't, so get familiar with it. Fayette 212, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. If not, well, I'm a dirty American. What do you want from me? They do a lot of articles on 9th Age stuff. They post a lot of things for 9th Age, a lot of good information. It's just a neat little thing, and you should be able to access it while you're at work, depending on your firewall. But they recently put up an article about one of Once Bitten's battle reports, or not battle reports, but one of his videos. And if you could go and check it out and log in and leave a comment and maybe leave a favorite, we can get it on the front page and stuff like that. You know, because the more popular it is, the more screen time it's going to get and all that. It'll pass the word about Once Bitten's website, which is a phenomenal website. As you all know, he's one of the godfathers of battle reports. And it'll also get 9th Age out there a little bit. So, go check it out. If you like it, great. And if not, well, I apologize for wasting your time, but I'm pretty sure you're going to like it. But, yeah, do me a favor. Do 9th Age a favor. Go check it out and try to give it a little favorite and leave a little comment, whether, what you think about it and stuff. Thanks, guys. So as I'm sure most of you figured out by now, it was a defeat for Lord Tremendous. I got 1,197 points out of him. He got 1,597 points, or 94 points out of me, for a difference of 397. I ended up losing my Khan BSB, my Tribesmen, all the Bruisers, that piece of shit unit of the Bombardiers, my Kin Eater, and my Mercenary Vets. Oh, it was so sad. And it was a hell of a game, though, so I'm not really complaining about it. My biggest complaint, of course, is the Bombardiers. Honestly, the dwarves are no joke. Do not underestimate them. When you see them across the table from you, you know that you're in for a hell of a fight. Those hold stones are very impressive, and they're better than the O stones were, in my opinion. Organ guns, oh my goodness, they are the devil. My poor Kin Eater. And the Forge Wardens, wow, crazy respect for those guys now. I honestly just saw them as like, shooty guys, like archers or something like that, bowmen, crossbowmen. I'm thinking I'm going to slam into them with my core unit. I'm going to eat right through them. I'm going to get a hold of the organ gun. I'm going to turn around and take care of the other guys. And in the end, I should have a tribesman or two left, right? And hopefully my character. I figured I had it. Holy crap, that unit held me up the entire game. And in the end, the tribesmen were dead. Yeah, amazing units. Dwarves can really hold their own no matter what they're equipped with. But yeah, the Bombardiers are definitely not a unit I'm going to be fielding again. Maybe I needed a bigger unit. Maybe I needed to use them better. Maybe I needed weighted dice. I don't care. I'm giving them back. I'm not going to field them for a while. They do not work for me. I know I only used them for 2 games. I get that, but I'm not impressed with them. I do not like them. My characters did good, as always. My units did good for the most part. They all fit their roles, other than the Bombardiers, of what I needed them to do. The Kin Eater, that wasn't the Kin Eater's fault. I didn't know it was flaming attacks. Typically wouldn't want to put a guy with regen as his only save in front of a flamethrower, but that's what I did. But I got to be honest with you, I'm not 100% of how I feel about the Chaos Marks on the Ogres. It's a lot of points. It really shrinks down the army. And, I mean, maybe it's just the market change, but I really didn't see anything in the army that I couldn't live without. The divine attacks, I mean, I used them, but my opponent, he was rolling hot. What can you do? I see something else, and I'm going to let you know right now. In the next battle report, before my next game, I changed my list up. I took the Chaos Marks out. I wanted to try some other stuff. And, well, you'll see how that goes. But I'm not saying that the Chaos Marks are bad. I like the Chaos Marks, but I don't know if I want to use them to play the Ogres the way I want to play them, if that makes sense. So like I said, I'm going to get rid of the marks after this game and stuff like that, try some stuff out. One of the things I want to try out, of course, is Scrat Launcher, or Scratapult, or whatever. Because I'm noticing that rank and file infantry is really holding me up, and I need something other than magic to kind of wither them down, thin them out a little bit before I charge. I think that'll help me out a lot. The Forge Wardens, for example. God, if I had been able to do it to the Deep Watch guys, that would have been great. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of Alchemy. There's nothing wrong with the path. It's just, it's not as, I don't know, complimentary, or whatever the big fancy word is I'm trying to impress you with, for the Ogres the way I want to run them. And I think Butchery is. So I want to go back to that path as well. So expect a lot of changes in my next list for Battle Report number 5. But you know what? This was still a great game. I had a lot of fun. I know I bitched about the Bombardiers a lot, but hey, that's kind of who I am. I bitch about units that don't perform. I've still got a lot of Chaos General in me. But yeah, great opponent. I like playing against this guy. I've been playing against him for years, and he gets better and better every time while I pretty much peter out. But I am definitely going to get a rematch against this guy because I feel he owes me for kicking my teeth down my throat like that. Do you disagree? No? Well, either way, I'm probably going to get another game against him eventually, and I'm looking forward to that very much. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 4. You've seen the games, you've seen the battle reports. By all means, go check out the website, www.the-9th-age.com. Go check it out. You're not going to be disappointed. Everything on the site is free, except for, the models. But that's going to do it, guys. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.